Alright, how are you guys doing today? I don't know what's happening with the signals, but apparently I'm not getting a good signal. We're going to start this and I want to keep going. If it goes off, I'll finish it. Today is the 8th and we're diving into electromagnetic fields, electric magnetism, radio frequency, microwaves, radiation, and dirty voltage. These are things nobody's thinking about. This stuff is happening to you all day long, and today's presentation will probably help you remove 80% of these problems. If you watch this whole video, it'll be really easy to do some of this stuff, and it will probably make you feel better. You'll be healthier overall. You may even be less sick. Today we'll talk about electrosensitivity, sometimes called electromagnetic sensitivity. I want to say 5% of Americans can actually feel this stuff. Now I know that in Sweden and the Netherlands, 3% have it designated as an illness, and I believe people collect money for this over there. They also have rooms, Faraday cages surrounding them, so you're not getting any of these types of frequencies. We're going to talk about each one of these electromagnetic factors and how you can minimize your exposures with really dumb, simple stuff. Some of the symptoms include chronic headaches, digestive disorders, sleep disturbances. Lots of people have a hard time sleeping at night, memory loss, forgetting things, depression, anxiety, and pain. This stuff will hurt your immune system. You'll get sick more often. Chronic colds, flus, even mind fog or brain fog. Basically, EMFs cut off your body from the Earth's electromagnetic fields, and we need those to live. The disruption invades our cells, breaks down DNA strands, and causes problems. Most importantly, it erodes our immune system, so you get sick. We get this exposure everywhere, from our front yards where there are radio towers and high-tension wires to radio cell towers. We still have those analog towers too, even though they say they're obsolete. I wonder what they're using them for now. We get exposures from things attached to our homes like smart meters. They're some of the most dangerous things you can put on your house. Smart meters talk to each other, bouncing signals from house to house, getting more and more powerful as they move closer to the tower or the cloud. Not only do they monitor you, knowing what appliances you have, what time you open your refrigerator, they also put out harmful frequencies. You can opt out of smart meters. I'm one of the last people in the west side of Lakeland without one. The utility still visits to read my meter because I told them, unless they can guarantee I won't get sick from it due to my electrosensitivity, I'm not allowing one. If you live in an apartment or condo, you might think you're safe, but what if there's a cell tower above you? Sometimes they even disguise cell towers to look like chimneys. People living directly underneath can get whacked with signals. Appliances and transmitters in our homes are culprits too. I use an infrared camera to show smart meter transmitters. When I do inspections, I check all 6 different frequency types, and I'll show you how each one affects you, plus how to reduce your exposure. For example, I had a client who burped every time the smart meter's indoor transmitter in her basement sent a signal every 40 seconds. It constricted her, and she'd burp. I have it on video, but she won't let me share because she finds it embarrassing. But I'll share it one day. Brand new cars have all kinds of frequencies and EMFs. Airplanes are even worse, their environment loaded with signals. Campers too have their own set. I remember doing a test. Why buy a home downstream from a nuclear plant or under high-tension wires or by a radio tower? You've got to be aware of your environment and avoid these things when possible. Workplaces are hazardous as well. Office lights above you disrupt your brain frequencies and emit EMF. If your desk sits against a wall with an electrical panel, you could be exposed all day from the wires behind the wall. Even space can affect us. Someone once tried to sell me rocks they claimed were meteorites, but they weren't magnetic or radioactive, so who knows what they really were. Electric floors also give off EMF. Now let's talk electromagnetic fields. The worst household sources for EMFs include dimmer switches, which can give 30-40 milligauss if you're nearby. Stay 4 or 5 feet away to be safe. Dimmer switches also create dirty electricity, another illness-causing factor. Clocks, especially old alarm clocks placed next to your bed, are among the worst EMF machines, emitting 100-200 milligauss. Move them 5 to 6 feet away. Cell phones and their chargers are equally bad. Keep them at least 3 to 5 feet from where you sleep. Nothing should be on your nightstand next to your bed. The EPA classifies magnetic fields as a Class 3 carcinogen. If you read your cell phone's disclosures with a magnifier, you'll see warnings. It's not hidden, but it's not advertised either. Air conditioning units in high-rises can send EMFs down from rooftop units. Avoid standing next to refrigerators and electric ovens while cooking. Maintain at least 4 feet of distance. Underfloor heating systems may also be problematic depending on element spacing and system type. Old electric blankets emitted high EMFs, possibly linked to increased leukemia in past decades. The new ones are better, but avoid electric blankets altogether. Stereo systems, voltage converters, and even fans emit EMF, though distance, 4 or 5 feet, helps. Gauges to measure EMF cost about $30-40. The limit in Sweden for building schools is 2 milligus. In the US, much higher numbers are routine. Compact fluorescent bulbs, CFLs, and LEDs produce higher EMF and harmonics than traditional incandescent bulbs. Any device with a motor, such as electric toothbrushes, razors, and vacuum cleaners, emits EMF. Limit their usage and keep them away from yourself when in use. Symptoms of EMF exposure include nervous system fatigue, sleep disturbances, skin prickling and burning, body pains, burning eyes, brain fog, and long-term health risks like leukemia and breast cancer, particularly in children. Electric panels in basements are not usually dangerous unless you sleep above them. Be wary if your bed or chair is placed above or right next to electrical panels, transformers, or high-wattage devices. Dimmer switches, especially if not rated for the right wattage, can also be fire hazards, creating major harmonics, dirty electricity, throughout your home. Vacuuming should be done quickly, don't spend hours at it. Motors are strong EMF emitters, minimize exposure. Cancer in children has increased since the 70s, especially leukemia and brain tumors. Blow dryers emit a lot of EMF. They have been linked to childhood leukemia, possibly due to more exposure when children have thinner skulls. Suggest children don't use blow dryers or use them as little as possible. The way homes are wired today, particularly how the ground wire is handled, can be a major EMF source. If a ground wire runs under your bed, you could be exposed to 50-60 milligauss. Telephone poles grounded into the earth carry dirty voltage, electrifying the ground. Walking your dog near these or walking barefoot can zap both of you. Avoid walking barefoot near ground rods from electric panels and utilities. Electric meter placement matters. Don't put your bed right behind the electric meter wall, or you'll be exposed 8 hours a night to the field it generates. Simple fixes like moving your bed away from the meter can reduce exposure. Hotel rooms can be risky too. The bed may back up to another room's smart TV or Wi-Fi router. If you find the room's TV or router is in the wall near your bed, try sleeping with your head at the foot of the bed to distance yourself from those sources. Most household appliances are not a concern if you keep a practical distance. Blenders, 3 feet away, dryers, 1 to 4 feet, and so on. Computers require 2 to 5 feet of distance, and fluorescent lamps should be placed 5 feet away. Hair dryers require use, but try to minimize time. Microwaves should only be run when you leave the room. They emit very strong EMF, and if leaking, microwaves as well. Now, let's talk electric fields. These are generated even when appliances aren't running, just being plugged in. Long, plugged-in extension cords emit electric fields. Poorly wired electrical panels, sub-panels sharing neutral and ground bars for instance, create electric fields within the walls. Knob and tube wiring in older homes may also exacerbate this. Check your outlets for open grounds and reverse polarity with an inexpensive tester. Homes built in the 60s and 70s with low-voltage relay systems can electrify hallways. Any resistor box or homemade electronics can emit fields. Radio frequency and microwaves come next. Natural sources include outer space and lightning, but man-made sources, radio towers, cordless phones, cell phones, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, are many. At home, try turning off Wi-Fi at night or hardwiring networks to reduce exposure. Avoid microwaves, baby monitors, and sound machines in young children's rooms. These devices emit significant radiation and EMF. Smart electric meters, gas meters, and smart homes emit many frequencies. Relocate wireless routers far from living spaces, ideally in the basement, and switch them off at night. Avoid buying homes near cell or radio towers. These put out a lot of frequency, which children playing in the backyard may be exposed to. Some cell towers are disguised as trees or placed under daycares. In countries like Sweden and India, authorities remove such towers from residential areas. Cell phones, especially older models, caused hot heads and concern for brain tumors. Avoid carrying phones directly on your body or in your bra, particularly if pregnant. Children should not be given cell phones. Their thin skulls absorb more EMF. Weather modification and geoengineering projects, like the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program in Alaska with 300 towers, shoot billions of volts into the atmosphere for various research purposes. Some even believe in their role in altering jet streams and searching for oil and gas. Microwaves can be a big issue if ovens leak. Use gauges to test yours and stay clear while they're running. Airports also use a lot of microwaves in scanners. Opt out if possible. Radioactivity is another concern. Radon is carcinogenic and found in many homes. Always test for it. Other products at home, like uranium-tainted green glass, may be radioactive. Test with a black light. Fluorescence indicates uranium content. Store these items high or away from living areas. Mattress springs are another surprise source of EMF and magnetism. Their form acts as an antenna, precisely half a wavelength of TV transmission frequencies. Sleeping on magnetized springs can expose your heart and left breast to EMF, a possible contributor to higher rates of left breast cancer in American women. Unlike in Japan, where beds don't have springs nor TV frequencies, mattress choices may matter for health. Dirty voltage results from household wiring, especially when plugging devices into walls. This creates harmonics, a problem recognized as an illness in Sweden, which affects 30% of their population. In the US, we don't yet do so. Dirty voltage causes headaches, poor sleep, pain, ringing in the ears, chronic fatigue, and amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS symptoms. Compact fluorescent bulbs, CFLs, and many LEDs create house-wide antennas, poisoning homeowners with harmonics and electrical pollution. Stick to incandescent bulbs. Even if they're being phased out, they produce the fewest side effects. Our diets in the Western world are very acidic. Sugar, grains, meat, sodas, making our bodies acidic and easier to charge with voltage. We wear rubber shoes, live in electrified homes full of dirty voltage and harmonics, and become batteries, holding far more voltage than our bodies were designed to handle. To fix this, minimize and shield against exposure. Avoid living under cell towers or microwave sources. Don't lean against a working dishwasher or microwave and turn off routers at night. If possible, have an electrician rewire your bedroom so there's no power at night. Move your bed if it sits in a problematic EMF location, and keep reading chairs away from fluorescent lights with magnetic ballasts. Get rid of mercury lights wherever possible. Consider eating a more alkaline diet, more greens like spinach and kale, and spend time grounded. Walk barefoot outside, away from utility ground rods, telephone poles, and electrical panels. This helps discharge built-up body voltage. You can even ground your bed or install a Faraday cage if you're very sensitive. Ultimately, we have to recognize that our battery status, caused by our food choices, home environments, and all our electric and wireless gadgets poisoning us, is not our natural state. Try to do some of the things discussed tonight, and it'll make you healthier. Thank you for watching. This was tonight's Sunday 8:30 show. I'll probably upload this to my Facebook and YouTube channel, Clevelandmarko with a K, where I have about 350 videos. You're more than welcome to like or subscribe or just check out my other content. Thanks for watching tonight. Good night and have a good week. Try to do some of the things we talked about. It'll make you healthier.